Hi, my name is Scott Campshafer, and I'm a clinical social worker in Frederick, Maryland, and I want to talk to you today about the phenomenon of love bombing and why I think it's essentially a bust. So first of all, when I'm recording this video, we're in the holiday season where there's all kinds of emphasis on feelings of love for the people that you care about, especially people who are romantic partners, and how you need to shower them with gifts, and the more expensive the better, like diamond rings, cars, all kinds of other things that are big ticket items, as some big demonstration of the love that you feel for them. And yet, for people who are engaged in the behavior of love bombing, uh, and for the people who are on the receiving end of them, the other end of the relationship, this can be a very deceiving experience, and it can create all kinds of wonderful feelings, but yet it can belie a situation where nobody's really sure of how they feel for each other. It may be something that goes with compulsive or problematic sexual behavior, or people who are dealing with love addiction issues, and it can go with a whole host of other experiences of mental illness and conditions of mental illness that the behavior may mask. And that's why I think it's a big problem, because it can have serious repercussions and ramifications for people who, particularly who are on the receiving end of it, and might wind up, being disappointed or disillusioned when the love bombing ends, which inevitably it does. So I've got basically, four reasons that I feel like love bombing is a bust that I want to share with you today. And the first one of those is that it can, falsely exaggerate feelings of love, and the people who are, on the recipients of the love bombing may get the feeling that the other partners, the other people who are giving the love bombing to them, may just think they're the greatest thing in the world. They hung the moon. They're super wonderful, and yet that is not necessarily the case at all. We like to believe that, and that's what the experience of love bombing is meant to engender in the people who are receiving it. And yet, the person who's doing the love bombing may have no illusions at all about uh, the other person being special or wonderful. That's how they want the other person to feel, and but it tends to undercut a deliberative process, especially in dating, that is part and parcel of what dating is all about, and that's to see whether you even like somebody in the first place or not. And then the second thing that I already alluded to that makes love bombing a bust is that it basically hides the feelings of ambivalence that are inherent in any relationship. People love each other and they can care very much for each other, but they can also have a lot of negative feelings towards others. And not that we're meant to wear those feelings on our sleeves, but we're just human. And to make it seem like all we have is nothing but pure, unadulterated, positive feelings for another person can hide feelings of ambivalence, not only from the other person, but also from oneself. And if I don't honor the the red flags or the other things that may come up in the dating process, in the process of developing a commitment with somebody, then I can wind up in a situation that I had not even anticipated, and wind up with somebody that I may not really even be well suited for. It may not be a match for me at all. So that's the second thing. The third reason I think that love bombing is a bust is that it's necessarily manipulative and controlling because of its very nature. When I'm love bombing another person, I'm not really giving them a chance uh, to to just weigh for themselves what they really they really want, or whether they even like being with me. I'm so busy just trying to create an impression that will somehow hook them in, which is um, another reason that I think that love bombing is a bust, is that as I already alluded to, it creates this false impression, gets others hooked, and if I'm already somebody who has problematic or compulsive sexual behavior, or I have love addictive behavior or codependency, I may wind up getting somebody else drawn in to my disease, and that's a double whammy. Not only am I the person who's suffering from this compulsive behavior and probably some underlying mental health condition as well, but I'm drawing somebody else into my psychodrama and potentially, leaving them high and dry at some point later in the process. Maybe after the holidays are over and the post-holiday depression sets in, the love bombing stops, and the person at the other end wonders what happened, and they're left enlarged as a consequence of it. So there's all kinds of reasons. These are only four that I could just touch on briefly of why love bombing has a big downside that I think a lot of people potentially don't realize. And if you're somebody who struggles with this kind of behavior, either on the receiving end or on the delivering end, and you want help, think you need it, and you live in Central Texas, where I'm licensed, and you live in Maryland, and you want some help and support for this, I encourage you to reach out to me. Go to my website, ScottCamshaferLCSW.com, and call the number at the top of the page, or send me an email through the forum on my website, and I can give you a better sense of whether I can help you in dealing with this whole situation that it can seem very great on the front end, but on the back end it can be a very different thing. But I wish you, in any case, the best of mental health, overall health and well-being, and for this time of year, have a happy and prosperous holidays as well. So take care, and thank you so much for watching.